Hey guys, what's up? V8 Mark here, coming at you with another video to add to my SHTF series. This one, this video is actually more of a scenario, so go ahead, sit back and just listen in. I got some eye candy here. Got this AK-47. Actually, it's a Lancaster 47. You can find its review and other videos of it on my channel. Just go ahead and search it. This is a 92FS. I haven't reviewed this yet. I haven't really did a show and tell, but I will get to it soon enough. And then this is the holster for it. And you got a little ammo crate here for ourselves. So this video is actually a scenario, so you just go ahead and listen to this. Imagine you live in the countryside. Maybe you do already, but try to imagine this. Your home is about 500 or so feet from the road. You have a nice gravel driveway that leads to kind of like a cul-de-sac, you know, like a big turnaround, as you could say, and that's all gravel. And then from there you have your lawn, your backyard lawn. In front of the house there's just a flat open ground that has weeds growing there, like grass weeds, and you got your home. And it's about 7:30 p.m. on a Saturday night, Saturday evening. You're watching the news or you're watching television, and you know, you're just relaxing, nothing going on. And then 8 p.m. rolls around, and then all of a sudden you hear loud revving from an engine, from like a car. And then you hear rocks being thrown out your window at the side of your home. And you run outside with your glass, and you look towards the direction of the sound, and you see a truck doing donuts on your gravel turnaround, throwing up rocks in every direction, hitting your home, coming at you, hitting you in your legs, and you don't even know what to think of it. So you run back in the home, and you go to your phone and you call 911. And you call, and someone picks up. The operator picks up. They ask you if it's emergency, and you tell them, yeah, it is. Some crazy lunatic is doing donuts in my driveway, and he's calling me names. He's yelling outside of his truck, calling me names. Please send an officer right away. They say, yes, sir, we will. We will do that. An officer will be on his way shortly. So you're waiting. You're waiting. And by now, at the moment of the phone call, the truck had actually left. And you're waiting inside your home with your family. You lock the door, you close the blinds to all your windows, and you're sitting in your bedroom, the master bedroom, the safest place you know. And you're waiting. You're waiting. 10 p.m. rolls by, 2 hours after the incident, and a cop doesn't show up. You wait till 12 p.m. Still a cop doesn't show up. Now, that scenario actually did happen in my lifetime, happened to me. But I was a child at the time. I was about, I'd say 10 or 12, right in there. And that happened with our neighbor who did that in our driveway. And he did the same thing, and we called the cops, and we did all the standard procedure, and the stuff you're supposed to do, and no cop showed up. Now the only thing that's different about that story was that we had our rifles at the time, and guns and shotguns and everything, so we were armed. So instead of huddling up in the house, my father, because my dad was the only one who was old enough, including for my brother and I, he got his gun. He actually got this pistol, and he put this holster on his side, and he went outside, is yelling at the guy, and he had his hand on his gun, or my dad had his hand on his gun, you know, yelling at the guy, telling him to get out of here. And then he started walking towards the neighbor's house, only about 50 feet from our home. The neighbor's house is about 600 feet away, and he's yelling, "You mother effer, you know, come outside and let's see what you could do now." And they never came out. At that moment, to be honest with you, I was really scared, because I was only 10 or 12. I really didn't know what was going on, and I didn't understand what was happening. And I really don't remember after like 10 p.m. because I think I went to sleep, and then in the morning I remember getting up and asking my mom. I said, you know, Mom, did the cops ever come? She said, no, they didn't. And I'll never forget that day, because that happened in 2001, and it's before September 11th, or sorry, it was after September 11th. It was actually 2002, I would say. It was like springtime or summertime, 2002. And you know, it's not like we had the collapse we do now where cops are laid off, and there was plenty of cops around that time. Everything was nice around that time, but you know, because there was no shortage, you would expect the cops to show up, and they never did. So what do you do at that point? I mean, if you were that person who thought, oh, I don't need to have a firearm, there's no need for it, I'm safe, I can call the cops, that's what cops are for. Well, if that's what cops are for, then why didn't they respond to this call? I mean, I understand we live in the countryside, but we're only about 10 minutes away from the nearest police station, and another 15 minutes from the next police station in the next town. So they could have dispatched a unit, but they didn't. Or they did and no one came. You know, the technology around that time, of course they could find the house. It's not like we were in a really rural place. We're only 10 minutes from town. So, you know, that happened, and that's kind of like what could happen when shit really hits the fan. Shortage of cops, shortage of law enforcement in general. They can't protect you. What do? You got to protect yourself. You have to take care of your own. You know, in this case, the person, they only did donuts and yelled out racial slurs. But who knows? What if they were trying to, you know, him and his buddies got out and they tried getting into the house with their shotguns and their guns and tried to intimidate us, or who knows what? You know, you can't expect everybody to behave like a good person. You're going to have people who don't do that kind of stuff, and they're going to want to take advantage of you. They're just going to want to intimidate you for whatever reason. So in that case, you do need to have something to protect yourself. So that's something to really keep in mind. Now, this doesn't just apply to shit hitting the fan. This applies in general. Just in general life, you should have, you know, something to help protect yourself, protect your family, or whatever. Don't have that false sense of security that the government will protect you, or that your law enforcement, local law enforcement will protect you, because they may be overwhelmed with something else and they can't get to you. Or I know in this case there was nothing going on pretty serious in town. There wasn't no bank robbing that happened earlier in the day and they're still securing the location, finding them. None of that happened. There was nothing going on in town. I remember, you know, asking my mom and my dad why not. They said, we don't know. And I remember thinking I was just so thankful that my dad had purchased these guns a long time ago, and he was using them to protect us. I remember him distinctively putting on this gun and going outside. But he was by himself though, because we were younger. So that must have been pretty scary for him to do, you know? You don't know what the other person's going to do, if they're going to come back or what they're going to do to you. It was pretty scary. So that's just a story I wanted to share with you guys. Maybe it'll open you up if you're one of those people that don't have guns and you don't think that it's necessary. Then really you need to take a step back and reevaluate what you're thinking. You know, that evening, nobody was shot. There was no gunshots, nothing like that. Cops never came up. I don't remember if a police report was filed the following day. I don't remember any of that, but you know, that's all long gone. The neighbor's gone anyway, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. But it was pretty scary at the time, and to think about it now, when we're on the borderline of people going and, you know, people thinking the world's going to end or whatnot, and you know, law enforcement is going down and crime is going up, you know, especially in the countryside. People come here to take tools and whatnot. You got to protect yourself. So that's just a story I wanted to share with you guys, a little food for thought or whatever. I'll come back at you guys with another video that's going to be more specifically on preps and whatever, things you can do if you're not, you know, if you're not so rich, or if you're not in the position where you can invest a lot into preparations for whatever it may be. So that's all I really want to share with you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Viet Merc out.